Alright guys, it's Mark here at DynoTrading. Let's get into today's trading recap and stay tuned on this video. I've got the best trading indicator setup for you coming up in just a few moments. But first things first, someone asked me today, why do I only focus on the NAS, or why have I lately been focusing on the NAS? And that's simple. Alright, very simple, easy answer for you guys. Number one, you can trade the NASDAQ on any asset class. If you trade Forex, your symbol's NAS 100. If you trade futures, it's NQ. And if you trade stocks, it's QQQ, right? But when it comes to applying any type of trading indicator, okay, on top of any symbol, regardless of whether you have your favorite symbols or not, all right, what you want to be mindful of is the payout, okay? I'm not a huge fan of the S&P 500 because I don't know if the payout is there, and same thing on the Dow, right? I just don't know if the payout is there. If I'm going to be applying powerful trading indicators, and by the way, guys, this green and red color band is the volume indicator. We only had two setups from today, the morning session, one beautiful long signal and one powerful short signal. And I'm going to get into why I think this was an extremely powerful signal from today, okay? But look, at the end of the day, I've always felt that selecting the right symbol is important. I mean, that's your starting point. And so there's millions of symbols to trade, right? Millions of Forex symbols, millions of future symbols, heck, multi-million stock symbols, right? And so I've decided that in order to keep my trading life simple, I just want to focus on the symbols that have the best payouts. And that's why I like the NAS. Now, you don't have to, right? If you like the S&P, guys, this volume indicator would work just as well on the S&P, the Dow, the Russell. All I'm telling you is, at this moment in time, the NAS is my favorite for the reasons mentioned. So anyway, I hope that answers it. I hope you guys will at least consider watching the NAS. Anything, right? Forex, future stocks, you can trade the NAS. Keep it on your watch list, man. You're going to really be glad that you did, all right? Anyway, let's talk about the setups, all right? So I don't know if I have to spend too much time recapping this long signal, guys, right? The volume indicator turned green, and so this lets us know that there's a possible long signal or a long setup happening right in this area here where I've circled with the yellow box. Okay, this is a potential area on where to maybe think about going long. And this white line here, you guys see this white line? This is a logical area on where to place your stop. Makes sense? So always remember that the entry and the stop have to go hand in hand. You never want to be that dummy who tries to trade without a stop. These stops with any trading indicator, no matter how powerful they are, you still have to use protective stop losses. Okay, there's no guarantees in trading the market. You guys know that. Most beginner traders lose. And so the only way to have an edge is to have a consistent, sensible system that has logical areas on how to take an entry as well as where to place your stop. Makes sense? But now, moment of truth. Okay, let's talk about this short setup here that showed up at exactly 9:45 a.m. Okay, in fact, let's really go ahead and zoom in here, folks. Okay, now what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to stare at this short signal right here. Just stare at it for a couple of seconds. Let me know if you think there's something special about this signal versus this one. Okay, just go ahead and stare at it for a couple of seconds and let me know if something jumps out at you. Okay, what hopefully should jump out at you if you've been following the strategy and following the system is that this signal bar also showed up on a retracement. Okay, now why is that statistically significant? Well, if you guys have been following the channel, I've talked about aggressive entries versus conservative entries. An aggressive entry would look something like this, right? Where the color changes and the potential signal bar, which is the bar that has the arrow on it, is your everyday bar, and there's no retracement. There's a color change, boom, you're in, and you let it rip, okay? But look how much different this setup and this pattern actually is, right? Not only did the vol indicator change colors on this bar right here, but it also took place on a retracement bar. Make sense? What is a retracement? Well, a retracement is one of these where the market does a dip, comes back up a little bit, and then it rips, right? That's a retracement. And leg number 2 of this pattern is where the retracement's underway. Now, typically, and when I say typically, I mean a majority of the time, you almost never see the first signal show up on a retracement. A retracement's always a secondary setup, like something like this here, right? You see this, where the market gives a nice deep retracement and then places a nice red reversal bar. You guys see how this is somewhat similar, right? Except what I've noticed is the retracement always shows up as maybe a second signal or a third signal. I've never seen it show up as a primary signal, meaning the first signal, right? I've never seen it where on this particular trading indicator, the first setup is also a retracement setup, okay? You guys picking up what I'm throwing down? I hope you are. If you have any questions or you're confused in what I'm describing, post a comment in the chat below or the comment section below. But I hope I'm getting my point across, okay? This right here is probably one of the most powerful chart patterns I think of all time, especially on this volume indicator, which, as you guys know, I think is the best trading indicator in the universe right now, okay? So here was the short setup from today. Remember, there were only 2 setups from the morning session. Here was one long, here was one short. And if we zoom out, well, you guys already know how this bad boy played out, right? It was a nice, beautiful dump heading into lunchtime. Here's lunchtime, approximately 12 to 12:30 p.m. Central Time, all right? And it was just a spectacular entry, guys. Look at this. Like, the stop goes right there, and you can see that stop never, ever gets touched, okay? Now, look, there were certainly some opportunities in the afternoon, right? If I spin this forward, we had a long setup right here that didn't go anywhere, and then we had another nice short setup. But again, folks, if you just contrast this, right? If I timestamp lunchtime right there, look at the difference between the morning session and how much action there was with just two really clean signals versus after lunch. Kind of mediocre, right? Now, I'm not saying this is always the case, but you guys know this is not the first time I've said this, right? There is so much action that shows up in just the morning session. And if you have a bunch of reasons on why you can't trade the morning session, all I can say to you is stop coming up with excuses, right? Find a way to run your technical analysis in the morning session, okay? I think you're going to be very, very pleased if you do so. To everybody else who caught this really significant moves in the morning session, congrats. It was a great trading session with the best trading indicator, especially after a 3-day holiday weekend that we just came back to today, right? And I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing these same patterns show up again tomorrow. Guys, that'll do it for this video. If you'd like to get your hands on this powerful volume indicator, then get in touch, call, text, email, whatever's convenient, and I'd be happy to hook you up with a free one-on-one demo, really show you how this volume indicator is going to supercharge your trading. Guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next trade.